introduction screen for no reverse. This morning I whipped up a quick design for what that might look like. Not guaranteed to stay the same, but I'm pretty happy with it so far. Didn't take too long, maybe about 20 minutes or so. And we're going to try and cut this up, get it into Unity, and hopefully have a nice clean design that looks good for the first opening scene of our game. So we're going to want to open up the correct project in Rider. I'll do it in this window, don't need the other window anymore. And then we'll be making entirely new classes for this view, but we want to get a view to build off of so that it's consistent with the rest. So we're going to take this one and we're going to call it introduction view. Actually, introduction view sounds like it might be teaching you the game. We do need a better name for this. Stat view is so generic, I'm not too keen on that either. What do we normally go with here? Opening view, stat view, introduction view. It's typically the ones that say tap to continue, play, welcome. Welcome view. Welcome view. Let's go with welcome view. I like that. Obviously don't want our view to be massive. We'll go oh, that's just weird. Use old name. Welcome view. Yeah, use the old name. Must have kept the value up there and decided it wanted to serialize that as well. That's strange. Remove the canvas group and the old script that was on there. And then I don't think it's a core view. I might make its own folder called welcome. That's the smartest thing to do, keep it separate from everything else. Put that welcome view in there. Alright. I'm not going to bother with writing any code for it yet. We'll just work off the scene view for now to get it visually looking how we want it. We'll get rid of all that junk. Turn the gain up on this a little bit. How's that? That's pretty good, I think. Right. So all our canvases are built off 3120 by 1440. That's just the resolution, I think, of my monitor on the left side, which isn't the one that you're viewing. It's an ultra wide, so it's 21 by 9. Not sure why I picked that. I think my phone is a similar aspect, so I picked something close to it. It should be okay. The rest of the project's already in this, so we'll just continue on using this. We definitely want to have a... Ooh, they added a little thing here for the toolkit. I don't want that today. We'll go with image, because we'll make the background, which, if I can name that correctly, background, which will be the full screen. Will never change. We'll leave it white for now. We're going to put a sprite in there when I've exported it. We do also want to make another one that is, I'm just going to call it border or inner border. So this has this stroke that goes around. Now this view is also massive. We don't want that. We don't want to blow up the size of the texture any more than it's necessary, and we could actually get away with doing you know, almost a 32 by 32 pixel thing here for this border, which I'm going to work on doing shortly. But this object is representing this white border that goes around, and that will also be somewhat close to that, but we'll probably do it based off anchor and just be like 0.95, 0.5, or 0.5 rather, and that should put us pretty close to the outside. Now the color of that one, because I want this to be generic, I'm going to export it as white and not the slight off-white that it is. Not sure which layer it is. It's a very messy Photoshop file. I do apologize. It's that one there. Okay. And it's got a stroke. And that stroke has a color. And that color is E1, E1, E1. And we'll just put that in here. Wow, okay, so that was way off. This is probably more like 2. It's more like 8. Just about 2% off around the outside. Yeah, that's a lot better. I think that's looking a lot closer. Now the width is slightly larger than the height in terms of the offset from the side, but I don't think it's that much larger. Look what that is. That looks quite a lot, but it does look nicer. So I think we'll go with that. Oh no. Was that right? That was not right. No. You're 98. There we go. It's that one, that side. My bad. There we go. That's a lot better. Okay, that looks great. So we've got a background, we've got a border. I'm not going to separate the background color to the vignette, I don't think. We've got our logo here, and we've got the start button. The start button, the only difference from everything else in the game is that it's a rounded corner. I think I'm going to convert all the other ones to rounded corners too, because it looks a little nicer in my opinion. I thought the sharp edges would look good, but I've done a complete 180 on that. I no longer think that. I think I much prefer this slight rounded corner, not a larger one, but just a slight one. And the not reverse logo is comprised of quite a few layers, and we'll be splitting those up because we're going to attempt to animate this today, and do almost like I was going to say like a YouTube intro animation where, you know, the centerpiece of the logo will be there first, and then the N might appear, and then they'll offset to the side as reverse comes in, and then the two bars at the top and bottom will fade in on top, and then it's like ta-da, and then the start button will appear, will probably fade in as well, and then you've got this nice clean opening intro. So I'm not going to bother building that logo yet. We're going to start with that start button. I don't know if I didn't preset any buttons yet, so I probably have to take a button from somewhere else. Perhaps the game view has one. Yes. So we'll take this start button. Coincidentally, the same name as what we want. We just need to break this prefab instance so I can actually take it without affecting the original prefab, because we don't want to break that. Now when you do this, the scale of the object comes in as 0, 0, 0, as if like these nested canvases doesn't know how to scale it up properly. But we're aware of that. We're gonna center this, and then we have it. I'm not gonna get the exact measurements because I don't think it's that necessary, but it's a little bit more than a third of the way down, so we're gonna just guess that. I think that's probably fine. Okay, so it's got basically everything but the right font and the rounded corners. So let's have a look. The font is Quicksand, I think. I actually just remembered, so I'm going to put Quicksand in there, and we're not going to use the capital. Quick. So it's regular. This looks thin, not regular. I don't know if that's something I forgot to import into the project or not. It is. Let's go take a quick look for Quicksand's thin or light, as they probably call it. Quicksand's Google font. If you haven't used Google Fonts before, Google Fonts is absolutely amazing. They have tons of free fonts, and you can just easily download the whole family pack here. And you can see there's light, semi-bold, regular, medium, and bold. Lots of other fonts also have more versions of that, like extra bold or light italic, and you know, custom specific things for that font. It just depends on the font and what they thought looked good with it. So we're going to import this into our Unity folder. Now you can't directly unzip into Unity that I know of. Last year was the last time I tried, but it's a new year. We'll give this a shot, see what happens. Yep, still unable to do that. It just can't access it because it's in a zipped location. It doesn't know the true location of it. That's fine. All you do is you open the folder there, and then you drag it into the folder instead. Then Unity will recognize it, build its meta, and bring it in. So yeah, for some reason they were so similar. I didn't read them as two different words. I was like, wait, it's in here twice. It's tricked me. But we want to use this as a text mesh pro, and we do that going to create. Now before I find it, I believe the shortcut was Control-Shift F12, but I'm not going to do that. I don't trust my memory that much. Oh, I was right. Control-Shift F12, font asset. So we want to create this text mesh pro font asset out of our font, a TTF, true type font. So there it is. We got it right there. So now, instead of this one, which was the Quicksand regular, we're going to take this Quicksand light, place that in there instead. You see it slightly changed to the light version. Very similar. I did feel like the other one is lighter, but it might just be Photoshop tricking me. Oh, you know what that is? I feel like the gap between R and T is very different. You see that? It's almost squished. Let's see if we can adjust that in this file. We got a line height, but we don't want the line height. We want... Not really sure what we want actually. Oh, these directly seem to... Ah, there we go. That's directly affecting it. I'm just gonna wiggle these until I find the one I want, because I am not entirely sure. It's not gonna be any of those. That's to do with the sprite import. It's not quite what we want. There we go. 2.5. That looks much more like... Hello, bud. Thanks for the follow. Legend. That looks much more like the Photoshop version. It's not perfect, but it's closer. Dari? What does that mean? Ah, legendary. Like, Barney. Is it Barney? Barney from How I Met Your Mother? I think his name's Barney in that, yep. Legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Right, so our button's there. So this is what we're making, bud. We're making this introduction screen. Designed it this morning. No reverse. I even came up with this little logo thing here, which honestly I completely made up, but I feel like it looks like it means something, so I thought that would work fine. but it literally means nothing. I don't know what happened. I just kind of threw it together. I think it looks pretty good though. What do you think? No, no, no. How did you get that impression? It says game development in the title. Also, my stream isn't called No Reverse. Right, what we're doing, we're going to take this this button here with the rounded corners. There we go. We're going to duplicate this out. Thank you. I surprised myself this morning. It only took about 20 minutes. Sometimes it's completely hit and miss with me, whether I can create something creatively good or bad. Button. Possibly in the future have like a video running in the background of the gameplay. I actually just watched a Twitch stream this morning of a developer who was making an MMO, and he was doing the same thing in the top right. If I had decent gameplay, I totally would do that, but I don't really have anything yet. I think I need to get a little bit further into the game, but 100% I agree. It will make things clear about what's happening immediately if you're new to the stream. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research, watching a lot of people, and every day, and just seeing what people do. Oh, no, that one's a bad idea. What I was thinking you meant was a good idea, though. No, I don't think it needs a video playing in the background. Like, you've got as far as installing the game and opening it. You already know what it is that you're playing. You don't just install something without knowing what it is. Oh, no reverse? That sounds like something I want. Click. It never happens. I think they have to see images or like you say, a video, but that will happen in the store page. Maybe just randomly on YouTube. Or maybe they watched their friends play it on their phones and was like, oh yeah, I want to play that. But at this point, like I say, I think they've already seen the game to get this far. Right, so here's our button. Now it's a 10 pixel radius on each corner. I'm just going to throw this up there into the top because we don't need this canvas size to be... Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go, calm down. So big. And then hopefully if I scale this, still a 10 pixel radius until you get smaller than 10 pixels. So I want to do, okay, stick to the power of 2, and we'll do 64 by 64. That seems absolutely perfect to me. And for the sake of being able to easily recolor it in Unity, we'll make it white for now. And then we'll adjust our canvas size to match that. So we want 64 by 64. We want it to anchor to the top left because that's where I've just placed the button, so it doesn't cut the button off. We'll proceed with that, and there we go. We should have our button perfectly placed there. We'll make a PNG out of it, so we got that transparency. And we'll throw this into our game assets. We'll put it under creative, user interface. And we'll just call it standard. No, we won't use the word standard. We'll use 10. Button 10 radius. It's so weird to write numbers in these. Small radius. That way, if we have some bigger ones, we can say medium and large. So what we're going to do, because obviously that button is not the right resolution for this button, we can do something called 9 splicing. So under our user interface, we just imported that. 9 splicing is only available with the sprites. So we're going to turn this into a sprite for 2D and UI. Just apply that. We want to open the sprite edit. Oh my god, I don't have the sprite editor. No sprite editor window registered. Please download the 2D sprite package. So they actually took that out by default. Amazing. One of the most common things I used, and it's no longer defaulted into the engine. Yet wind and cough rendering is, which I have literally never used in my life. Bizarre. But let's go get that package. I'm guessing it's this 2D sprite. Yeah, use Unity Sprite Editor window to create and edit sprite assets. Seems pretty standard to me. Can't believe that's no longer in by default, but here we are. 2021. Okay, so back to that button, sprite editor, here it is. Right, so here's our sprite. It won't let me zoom out further than this. They are actually ruining this editor. Not a fan at all what they're doing to it. But let's continue on. So we need to make it a 9 slice. Sorry. Just gonna change the compression. Hoped it would make that a bit smoother, but it has not. I'm not sure. They've changed this. I'm not sure. You're supposed to go on slice and then 9 slice, but it's not allowing me. Do I have to do multiple? Has to be multiple for some reason. Never mind. I think I'm making this up. I think we just do it here. So we had a 10 pixel radius, so hopefully 10 in there. Yeah, it's bang on. 10, 10, 10. So they call it border now. But it's called 9 slice because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slices of your sprite. And what it will do is this middle container, that's gonna scale up to the size of your let's say our button in this case, and then everything on the outside, all these other 8 slices, will remain the same size, allowing it to scale up nicely without getting like a bigger radius of that button if you have a bigger version of that button, which is what we don't want. So that's nice. We should apply that now. And then if we come to our scene and we swap that asset out, boom. So like we said, even though it's a 64 by 64 pixel image and our button is 256 by 72 high, it's scaled that middle one up, and it's made it quite blurry, and I think that's my fault because it's only 10 pixels and we're displaying this on a massive resolution, not quite 4K but more like 3K resolution, so it's a little blurry, so I might have to actually do something about that. I think I would possibly make it, I'd scale the canvas up by 3 times, and then scale the radius by 3 times as well, so physical size is the same but resolution is higher. Let's do that now actually, I think that will work. So we want to do this 3 times. What's 3 times 64? I have no idea. 192. Could have guessed that actually. Should have guessed that. That seemed smarter. So we made that bigger, and then it even automatically set the radius bigger too. So let's save that immediately out. However, a 9 slice probably won't scale from that, so we'll have to jump back into that sprite editor. Yeah, so it's trying to treat that as 10 pixels on this image, which you can see is way out now. So we want our sprite editor back, and we want to change these to 30 to match. Oh, gross. It's not worked at all. I thought I might embarrass myself. I thought I could have been wrong in what I was saying. How do we solve that then? Is it just because I'm zoomed really far in and that's all that the problem is? Let's go back to what we had. Could have been just... It just doesn't feel... Yeah, it looks good from afar, but... I guess it's not that big of a deal. I just don't know why it blurs it. It's probably still a bit broken because it's set to 30, so yeah. So we'll go back to 10. Again, to match our radius in Photoshop. Yeah, that looks fine for now. All right. If you're new to the stream and you're watching, say hello in the chat. Let us know you're there. But what we're doing today is we're making this view here, this no reverse view, as the starter screen for the project no reverse. I designed this morning. Quickly, I will add about 30 minutes just before the stream, and we can animate this. We're going to build it and animate it, and we're going to build it as efficiently as possible, and then animate this logo in, and the button to appear, and maybe even flash, but it might not look so good, or pulse rather than flash, but it might not look so good as a solid button flashing. Actually, what if start said, and this is the thing, I'm not set on this design, we will go over this and probably change things as we go, but what if it said something like tap to begin? That's quite nice too. And if that was pulsing, that would look a lot better. But I don't think the solid image would look so good pulsing. But that for sure. The only difference is this looks nice. There's a bit less color in it than this. And if this had start. And the rest of the app is probably going to have these type of buttons to navigate. So I think that I want to keep it as close to the rest of the app as well. But in my experience from other games, especially mobile games, they do tend to have the opening screens be slightly different. I guess it's more about what looks good, but I like consistency as well. If we manage to bring in some more color into this screen, then I'd be more open to having it just text and pulsing. And the reason it pulses is because it's a call to action that you want to draw the user's eye to that pulsating label to the instructions on what to do next, right? Not that this was a hard screen to understand in the first place, but it's just common. You just want the user's eye to see where you want them to go next. So let's continue. So I want to do that border next, and for now I'm just going to take this color. I know it's not a gradient. Oh, I never actually copied that. There we go. I know it's not the gradient, but let's get it a little bit closer to what we're making here. And then this inner border. So we're going to 9 slice this inner border as well. So we're going to duplicate this, put it onto a new canvas. Oh, it's so hard to see, it's so small. So this is a trickier one, I think, because it's a stroke, or it doesn't share the same properties as the last image we did, but it does hopefully stick to 8 pixels relative. So let's make that really small one to see how that comes out. It did indeed. So what we can do, since it's 8, we want to do 64 minus 8, which 56. And then we want to do width 56 pixels, height 50. That's position, not height. I feel tricked. 56 pixels. Something seems off. That width changed because the aspect is locked. So 56. Now we've turned that aspect lock off. Hit enter. We'll place this 8 pixels in. Hopefully, let's have a look. 35. The center. So actually, 56 divided by 2, 28. I would have thought this would have needed to be 28. One of these is wrong anyway because they don't even match. Interesting. 72, 64. It seems slightly bigger. Oh well, we'll just go with this anyway. I actually no longer have any idea how big that is then, but do it off eye, and hopefully a bit of snapping from Photoshop will help us out. Help? Yep. Imagine 72. I don't know how we get to 72 though. Oh yeah, that would be 8. 8, of course. Oh, does that mean... I went the wrong way. Yeah, we added 8 on, not off. 36. 36 is correct. Okay. There we go. And we want to remove the color that's on it. I'm just going to take that. I do have a copy of it elsewhere, but just in case. We'll make it white because we want to be able to color this in Unity and not have it as a solid color. And we're just going to call this inner border. That'll do. So, same principle. If we can find this in here, there it is. We want to make it sprite like before. Apply that and 9 slice it to 8 this time. Apply that. Now, we already added that color in, I remember now. Didn't need to copy it before, but always good to be safe. And we're just going to drop that in. That is disgusting. What's going on there? I think it might need to be... It's, that's the... I feel like that's the way that it's compressing this. Point filter. Actually, you know what? That might solve the button issue too. I didn't realize it till just now, but yeah, we might actually be able to use the point filter on... Excellent, there we go. For graphics that are more pixel art, you want to use point. It's more precision. The bilinear will try and blend pixels. So it took, it sampled the pixels around it. It took the transparency of the empty pixel here, which was transparency 0, or opaqueness 0, I guess. And then the opaqueness of this, which was 1. What's the in between of that? 0.5. So then it would do the next pixel as 0.5. And then the next pixel, if ever in, the sample between that is 0.5 and 0. So halfway between that is 0.25, and so on as it gets to 0. That's why we saw that blur fade out as we go. But nice, that is solved now. The one thing that I don't believe I want to try and fix in terms of efficiency is this background. I don't see a way of being able to do that. We could do real-time vignetting, and that would actually be a nicer vignette, but also expensive. Not too bad considering that we're on a screen with no 3D, couple of elements, nothing crazy. But for these older phones, that nothing crazy is actually pretty crazy. So I don't want to leave these old phones in the dark. Obviously there's a limit to how far back I'm talking about when I say old phones, but we want to at least support some of the cheaper options, even the current day cheaper options. They don't have these crazy good processors. So the limiting factor about this on those phones will be the memory size loaded. The memory loaded in on this screen will be higher than if it was a vignette effect in Unity, because we're storing it in an image instead. And when we're not doing it that way, but if we did it in Unity with the image effect, that would then be not a memory consumption but a CPU consumption, as it processes the pixels on the CPU and then applies that vignette. Which is why I feel like the memory is the better way to go here, because we're not taking up much memory on this screen, and as soon as we leave the screen it's unloaded. So peak memory on this screen is going to be very low in comparison to what the peak CPU usage might be if we use the vignette. So let's just save this image out as it is. It's not the power of 2, so I don't even think I'm allowed to compress it without causing issues. I'm gonna just call it welcome background. There it is. We'll make it a sprite. Apply that. 12 meg, that's massive. That is not what we want. And what if we don't compress it? Still 12 meg. So that, the reason for that is because it's not the power of 2, the compression doesn't work. And I even want to see it. Only power of 2 textures can be compressed to ETC1 format. So it actually treats it as if it's non-compression anyway, which is why the values don't change at all. 3000 is quite big, isn't it? What can we do here to solve this ridiculous size? I mean, I guess we could bring this right down. 1.4, it's not that bad. I mean, we can do 12 meg if we wanted. Like, we really can. Just doesn't feel too appropriate. Oh yeah, I need this to be white. Let's get rid of these, this grid. Yeah, that looks pretty similar. Absolutely, right. There's no other effects I'm not realizing, is there? Like a opacity on this? No. It's normal, seems fine. We've just got our lines, the text itself, the logo pieces, which will come together in a group. We'll just call this logo. Alright. So I actually kind of need this to be in with the logo. There we go. So let's export this to a new layer. Logo. Shove this. Oh, that's not what I meant. Ah, there's this button. I don't know where it is. Is it pass? When I click on an element, it wants to move the whole. Instead of moving the whole thing, it wants to auto select. That's the thing. There we go. So auto select was up here in the top left. Basically, if I click on whatever pixel element I'm clicking on, that's what's going to move and not what's selected here. It's trying to be clever, but sometimes it's slightly annoying. We'll put a 1 pixel padding either side of this. I don't want any kind of weird artifacts. I actually have no idea how big this is. I'm just going to shot on the canvas for now. And then work it out from here. So 49. Oh, sorry, 98 and 113. 98 and 113. There you go, that should put 1 pixel padding either side, and we're gonna call this logo. This is a tiny logo, I will have to rebuild this. At a much larger size at some point, especially when I'm actually putting it out as a logo. But we'll call this featured, and we'll call this logo small. So this is our container for the logo. I don't know how big it's gonna be, the whole logo that is, but I'm pretty sure I can just have it as nothingness and have everything else underneath it be actually sized correctly. Put the logo about there. And then we want another image right there. And we want the size of this one to be 99 and 114 to match the logo size. And then we want to find our logo, which we put here as featured, logo small. Need to make that sprite. Don't want to compress it. This is our beautiful artwork. We don't want any compression there. 128 by 128. There it is. Wow, beautiful. All right. Just gonna close this. It's got nothing to do with the project. Now this no reverse logo has no modifications to the actual font. It literally just says no reverse in I think quicksand. Oh, now it doesn't want to do that fancy selection thing. Well, I can actually select it because it's rasterized, but I have a copy down here. Oh, it's actually open sans, my bad. So we can go in here, we can make a text mesh pro asset, and we can say no reverse. Oh. And we want to do that so it's all uppercase. So we use font style uppercase to force our text uppercase. And we want to swap this asset out for open sans. Open sans light. That will do nicely. And it looks like the padding is correct on this one, so it's just quick sans that was a bit odd in Unity. We need this to be much bigger than it is. Our font size. What is our font size? It's massive. 151. It's probably too big for Unity. Let's make this the full screen for now. Show me what you got. Well, the font size didn't like it because it's got that in it. Yeah. I'm not sure. And oh, yeah, that does look correct, but we something funky there that I didn't like. Width and height. I would have thought 512 would have been enough. I would be wrong in saying that. No reverse. 768. Oh yeah, 1024. There we go. 1024. Let's center it here and center it here. This yellow box, I don't really understand it. Where is that yellow box located? Oh, I think I actually have to keep that exactly the same. I can't try and mess about with that. Sure, it's... Oh, is it just this? Okay. There we go. That'll do. The reason it has to be identical is because we are trying to get it to be perfectly over this, right? Which we can see. The image actually feels like it's a pixel or two bigger. Actually see movement even with that, which is odd. That's pretty close. It does look like the image is slightly bigger, and that's okay. That's not a problem. So we got no reverse. Very off-center no reverse. So we do want this to try and be a bit closer to the center. No idea how close to the center. Let's try and get a guide in here. So it's between the E and the V. Oh, perfect. Almost perfectly between the E and the V. A bit closer to the V than the E. Do we have guides that we can use? that's not center. So we want to create another object and scale 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. Let's move this up so we can see we were pretty close, but not quite. You know, I'm quite happy with that. This doesn't have to be so perfect. No one's gonna open the screen and stare at the pixel level and go, wait a minute, that's not quite right. Just get a bit more comfy now. Drink some water. Always stay hydrated. Give us a hello if you're in the chat. Let me know you're there. Not you, Aaron. Just kidding. Thanks for sticking around. No, don't leave. What are you up to today? It's a Saturday, right? You're not working today. Honestly, I didn't wake up that long ago either. I think I'm just gonna eyeball these two. Not too far away. We'll try to just reproduce that without any images. Oh wow, didn't mean to do that. Oh, where are they gone? What? Phew. What on earth does that button do? That was a close one. You streaming tonight? So this is 8 pixels high, so we'll just copy that. Every night at 7 PM by any chance? Yeah. No, it's good to stick to a schedule. Personally, I'm not able to do that right now. But I was gonna say in the new year. I don't even know it's 2021 yet. After my house move, at least, that's when I took the wrong value. I meant this value here, 929. I thought it was a bit big. When I move house, then we can work on getting a schedule going. But it's not going to be too close to moving house. Gonna have to do a lot before I get in there and settle down. So we're looking at like 2 months now. think we did it. Think we're there. Perfect. Ah, one problem though. I did want this text to be separate because I want to animate it. So let's try and do that. So I'll do that by just lining them up. I'll take the word no off reverse, and then I'll just shift that over. Perfect-ish. Good enough. I'll take reverse off this one. We'll shift that over. That's not good for the 0. Oh, you know what? Is it because they're above? Good enough. We're trying not to be too perfectionists today. Get nothing done if we do that. Alright, so we got no, we got reverse. We've got the logo, we've got the 2 bars, we've got a background view, which looks surprisingly good considering I compressed it. And then we've got a start button. It doesn't feel as nice in Unity. It could be because of the view itself. I don't remember what size this was. I'm guessing it was something like that. That looks a bit long. 3120, let's adjust that. 3120, we'll call that canvas. There we go. That should make this same. Looks great, if you ask me. So now, to somehow animate this, and for once I think I'm going to animate it with Unity's animation system, because it's a lot of work to program it. I could do it through programming, but honestly, if something isn't quite right, it's a pain to change, and if I change my mind entirely about what it should look like, it would take far too long to adjust. So we're just going to create a folder here, call it welcome, and we're going to create some animations in there, and we're going to animate this. Now, it's been a very, very long time since I've animated in Unity's animation system. I've never enjoyed it. I've never liked how difficult it can be to animate objects as a whole, but I'm sure I've seen people actually do that. I personally just haven't figured that out the best way yet, but we're gonna try. We're gonna see if it's gonna let us. We're gonna do it automatically. We're gonna let it set up for us. So we've got our animated panel. We're going to create an animation. This is exactly where we wanted it. Welcome animation, or logo animation, or we'll just call it welcome logo. Now immediately, if I wanted to go in here, go in its children and turn them off. Ooh, it does work. Okay, okay. Very nice. Unexpected. Some improvements here. So first, we want 0.15. want to turn this sucker on. We're going to put it in the center. It's just going to appear. It looks like it's moving, but who cares? You can actually just put that as 0 there. So it's not moving, even if it is invisible. So, logo. Hello. Maybe we can fade that in. How do we fade that in? We need to put a canvas group on it. So stop the vote. No, I mean stop the animation. Canvas group. Start off. Start off with 1 in the actual thing. Actually, we can start with them all on without the animation. But we'll go in here, and then here. Somehow it knew that 1 is. Oh yeah, 1 is. Oh yeah, because yeah, it started as 1. But we're gonna start at 0, and then it's gonna. Oh yeah? Anything interesting? Affiliate is the one before partner, isn't it? Yeah, I heard about that, but I'm not doing that anyway. Oh, of the same content. That's interesting. So you could do like, okay, gaming is on YouTube and Facebook, and whatever else is on, just chatting is on Twitch and stuff like that. Kind of split up the content for target audience. That's an interesting one. I didn't realize it was. Yeah, you can't have the exact same feed. Yeah. But for Streamlabs, you have to pay to do multi-streaming anyway, which I don't do yet. I don't really have any intentions of streaming on Facebook and YouTube yet, or maybe ever, I don't know. Yes, okay. Yeah, try and split up, yeah. I don't know, it might be better just to stream and then put the recordings on YouTube rather than trying to do both at different times. Yeah, I've started recording. I'm recording now, but at the moment I'm recording just so I can watch myself back and figure out how I can improve. I noticed yesterday's stream I was doing portfolio work, and I had no reverse written in the bottom right by mistake. Completely forgot to change that. Yeah, but then everyone can see it. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm just gonna practice a bit, take my time, get comfortable, and like I said, after I move house, go, if I'm still enjoying this, go full ham at it. I'm not gonna say that on stream to a house east of the place where I live right now, so it's not too far. Oh, winner. Sorry, misread that. Don't know yet. We are in the process of buying one. The current house had tenants in it because we're buying from the landlord, and the tenants were supposed to move out on the 31st. We did a quick we drove by, choose my words carefully there, we drove past the house and it looked empty, so it looks like they have left. Just the worst thing you can do is purchase a house with tenants still in it, because then it's like, can you leave please, and they don't have any legal rights. We don't have any rights to remove them, so we just had to make sure that they get out before we buy. And then we asked for a certificate for the electrical safety, and they said, yep, we'll go and get you one of those. They got a guy to do it, and he reported back that it's unsatisfactory. So my solicitor's asking them, well, what are you going to do about that? Are you going to pay someone to make it satisfactory? But at the same time, he's told me unsatisfactory doesn't necessarily mean unsafe. It just means may not be perfect. So if they come back as no, then we can be prepared to get someone to tell us, an electrician to tell us, well, what does unsatisfactory mean, and how much of a priority is this? So that's the next steps. When we talked a month ago with the solicitor, he did expect we'd be signing contracts yesterday, but obviously there's been some delays since then as well, so we're not really sure. Hopefully this month, but we'll see. You could always move. The intention was not to be further away from you, nor closer. It was to find a house that worked for us. No. What are you doing?
Not half bad. What do you think? An hour's work? Any suggestions, Aaron? Anything you like or dislike? Sally? Are you watching the stream? It's weird, I don't actually get... it doesn't say I have 3 viewers, but I have you, Aaron, and I have my tablet. But it only says 2 viewers. Thank you. We'll see. I don't know, maybe it's clever to see a household as 1 viewer rather than multiple ones. It's just for the affiliate you have to have 3 average viewers. So if I could have done that, it would have been perfect. All right. I don't think there's anything else left to do there. So now we can start programming. I know you're all being excited about that. So let's make a folder. Welcome. Am I lagging? Where's the folder? Hello? I just made a folder, where is it? Okay. I feel like I got a folder randomly somewhere else now. I have no idea where it is. Can't see anything. Okay, then it didn't happen. So it's been a while since I've implemented a state, so bear with me as I try to remember my own code. States are required to load a scene or at least do something async, which is a bit annoying. But we'll do that for now. Till I figured out what I actually want to do with that. Can't imagine I actually want to load a scene. Might be able to load my assets asynchronously and unload them asynchronously. That could work to my advantage. So that's our state. We want a welcome view. That's not a welcome view. There it is. Come on. There we go. Format that correctly. We want to seal this class as well. And this one. And this one because I forgot to, apparently. Oh, I closed that, but I can't open it. This is home view, which we can say welcome view this time. This could be welcome view. Actually, did just make that class. And then they do this. Welcome view. So obviously we don't want this. We want to make our own. So we're gonna make a class here. Call that welcome. I assume it has a public static class view. Yeah, which has one of these in it. As it's obviously going to be called welcome. Yeah, there we go. And then that's going to be the type welcome. You'll probably need to import. Yeah, did. And obviously this would also need to be a welcome view. Path very easily be seen be welcome view. Welcome apparently is really hard for me to type. However, that should easily work now. Welcome view, welcome state, and the welcome view. Again, can't type. There we go. So that will create the view. I just need to put the view in that right place and apply the class to it as well. It might actually already be in the right place. Let's see. Resources, welcome view. Bang on. So I actually think this might just work. Oh, but I never go to that state first. We actually don't even want the loading screen to be there, so Bootstrap might actually be better off. See, that says await transition. I don't want the transition. I just want to load it. I'm not even gonna, oops, let's go back to that. I don't even want to do it this way. It's a one-time state, you'll never see it again, whereas home, campaign, and license, you can go between at any point in the game. I am just going to actually put it in the Bootstrapper as do that when it's done, which will make a public event for that. And then this can do, we can do welcome state equals, and then we want to create our welcome state by doing the same thing the router does, but less complicated. So it literally just builds it through the builder that I built, but it doesn't know what a builder is. Neither do I. It's been a long time. Builder, abstract behavior. Oh, one of those. So really, here, well, one of these. This is our builder. Awesome. So we actually want to do no reverse dot welcome dot welcome state dot as child dot initialize create, no reference, don't need a reference, just return it to me, and then on start clicked, that's when we do this, which I don't think we need to see a problem. Because you're async. What do you want from me? Come on. Fine. Whatever. That'll do. We don't actually wait for it. We do destroy ourselves at the end here though, which actually is a mistake. We'll do it there. And with this being a child of this object, it should get destroyed with it, so we shouldn't have to worry about it. Let's have a look, see if that makes any sense to us. Oh yeah. That's looping. Why is that looping? The things loop by default nowadays. Welcome. Entry. Animation. No. No loop. Apparently they like to loop by default. There we go. It's not perfect, but it's a really good start in my opinion. And I bet this looks great on phone as well. So what we want to do now is we want to start actually making this functional. So apparently I put the attribute serialized field and never finished that off. Lucky it compiled because I had the function underneath it. So at this point, we actually don't even need this to be a hierarchy behavior because... Ooh! I changed my mind. We want to animate this. And we want this to be just called animation. We only have a one. We definitely, without a doubt, need to make sure we clean that up on destroy. And we know it's there because we're gonna actually create on the initialize, so it should be safe to not actually null check that. So we're going to make it here. I despise the name sequenced animation. I don't know why, I just much prefer that would be called animation sequence. Trying to figure out why the name would be the other way around. Don't believe it has any alternate meaning of saying it either way. It's a bit weird to me, but okay, well, we want to fade this in, so actually on top of this we want the start button canvas group. Because we want to fade this guy. 1, and we also want to make sure that the alpha is 0 when we start. What's your problem? Fade 2 doesn't support canvas group. Okay, let's go with fade then. Mental. But we do want to put some number in here. Ah, you know what? It's going to be a little bit more complicated than that, because fall through action is going to be a thing too. We'll do that. So this is the introduction, which is similar to the logo animation. It's just going to wait till the animation's done, and then it's going to fade itself in, and then we'll switch over to the call to action animation, which will be looping, and that's going to be just a pulsing fade to get draw the user's eye. That needs to be a float, We'll make them all floats because technically they are. So this needs a wait animation. It needs to be as long as the actual animation we made here, which is actually only 1 second for now. I do want to change that. I don't know of a good way to get that information out of an animation file unless they've updated it. We could take a look. That doesn't need to have the new keyword. And if we can get the length on this, then we'll just do that. We'll use this because that's a more accurate way of a safer way, should I say, of doing it. It totally does. Length in seconds. That is perfect. Give us a hello in the chat if you're new here. Let me know you're there. So this is our logo animation clip. We want to make this wait time the same length. Ah, what? Oh, my rider was making up values. It's lowercase. As is most Unity properties, to be fair. I should have seen that. It's Microsoft's system that actually use upper camel case for properties. And myself as well with my coding standards. So no matter what length that is, this will adjust to it, and then we can fade in. We'll do a quick fade, no biggie. And then we want to make our call to action a new sequence animation as well. And this is the looping one. So this one we can literally do fade 0, 1 as well. And we can do a longer duration. Might actually be like 3 seconds, to be honest. We'll do 3 seconds, and then we want to ease this. I think ping pong parabola might be nice. Oh, I didn't use the new keyword. There we go. And something is wrong. I am not saying what I want to actually fade, but it is the same object as we did in the last one too. Just throw that down here so it's easier to read. So that actually should cover it. And then we want to do animation, which I'm now going to rename because it's not just one animation. There are more than one, and this one needs to be a bit clearer what it is. So we're just going to call it opening animation. Oh, if I can hit the right keys. Opening animation. This one, we want to play it, and when it's done playing, thanks, Rider. When it's done playing, we want to do we want to play the other one on a loop. We do that by using -1 here to say the repeat count is -1. That's what the API uses for repeating. Yeah, or 0 or less, or -1. I prefer to do -1. 0 looks like it's a mistake and not intentional, so I'll go with -1. And we want to do that. I'm not sure what this is complaining about. That's not a complaint. What? Why would it be null? I literally make it there. Why would that ever be null? Insane. Not a chance. I'm not doing that. I make it right there and I don't null it anywhere else. That can never be null. Alright. So let's just double check what we've done. We set the alpha of the button to be 0, so it's not there. We put a line break in between that. We make a new animation that's the opening animation where we wait for the length of that animation clip, which is the logo animation. We fade the button in for half a second. So it comes in on screen. Once that animation is done, I might actually put 1 second on there so it's not like instant in your face. Oh, that logo's done, and then boom, there's a button. Let's wait a little bit. And then we'll fade that button in, and as soon as that button's faded in, we'll start looping this. We're gonna put a little bit of a wait in there as well. We're gonna do a 1 second wait every time. We're gonna do a 5 second wait every time. 3 second. Okay, we're gonna do a 3 second wait every time. And that loops. It'll do the fade and then wait 3 seconds, and then do the fade, wait 3 seconds. So that might need to be larger. We'll try this though. And then once we've built our animations, we play the first animation, and on its completion, on complete, we'll play the call to action on repeat until that button has been clicked. If it has been clicked, it will result in... That should have been there. I have no idea how that got there. It should result in this object being deleted, being destroyed, which then we want to make sure that animation system is aborted, because the object will no longer exist and it will throw null reference exceptions if we don't do that. So now to test it, the exciting part. I'm not sure what the API is, but know any decent free audio recording software? Audio recording. Audacity is the one I know of. Very easy to use. Yep, Audacity. Very easy to use. Does the job. Completely free. Should be good. Now, I did make a mistake here. I never actually serialized any of those values. Yes, but it does have filters as well. I don't know about the specific filters, but it has filters. It's a very commonly used software, very well known. So we want to add that start button in, a canvas for the start button, which isn't on there yet. Got to put that on first. Which yes, we did. Start button 0. We did do that. No problem, dude. And then we want to add our animation clip to there, so we get the length, so we know what we're doing. And then this should all play out at the start now. It didn't. It did not. Oh, and there was a null reference. On destroy, welcome view. Oh, I understand. I understand nothing, actually. From what I can see, there's no mistakes here, but clearly there is some mistake. Sorry. Rider's a bit weird today. I must have my settings messed up. I cannot quite get the capitalization right when it's predicting what I'm trying to type. We're going to make it a little local function here. Void handle start clicked. Which we can't name. Handles. Oh yeah, we can. Possible. And then we do on start clicked invoke. And we're going to add that in there. That's the least of our problems right now, because when this gets initialized, which should happen when I click initialize, when I call the function initialize, which I definitely did, right guys? Definitely remembered to do that. Oh, I did remember to do that. Okay, fine. I definitely remembered to do that here, right guys? I did not. Which is really interesting because I copied this line, I'm pretty sure, did I not? From here. Ah, but it does call initialize on this one. Oh, it's here. So let's see, does the home view... It doesn't even use initialize. I'm not entirely... I guess it just had to be. I think I have plans to do something there. What I need to do to make sure I know not to just delete that. That was my bad. That was why you don't copy and paste lines of code, because although you think that's what you want, it's often not exactly what you want. So this time, 100% confident. That's what my old mentor used to say. I'm 100% confident, and it would never work whenever he said that. So I'm just jinxing myself. It didn't work. Something worked. We never actually intended it to be invisible at any point, that like for more than a frame at least. Oh, maybe we actually just never... You know what? Didn't I say earlier I didn't enjoy that the solid button would fade in and out? Maybe we scale it instead. Let's scale it. I don't think it looked good. I think we're going to scale it. So instead of fade, scale to, we can use the start button instead, so it's a bit clearer. Obviously these aren't the values I want, but vector 3 times 1.1f. You know what? Rather than having two vectors created, let's just create the one we want. Okay, so what this is doing is doing scale to. So it's going to take its current scale to this for 1 second, which I'm going to turn right down. And it's going to parabola, which, as far as my knowledge, should be almost like the curve of a jump. Should be like this. I'm hoping it will end back where it starts. I believe that what that means. So if the bottom line is 1 and 1.1 is up here, it should go halfway through the animation, it's at 1.1, and then at the end back at 0. That's my understanding of it. Let's find out. Perfect. Perfect. I like that a lot. Timing's actually quite nice on the call to action too. And if I click it, we get going. So the only thing I didn't like was this wait time here, nor that fade in. Well, it was too quick. All of it was too quick. Again, far too quick. Why did it feel like it did not wait? Now this could be a problem with Unity itself. Once you hit that play button, that gets initialized, but by the time I visually see it running, time's already passed and that animation's already running. So on your phone, that won't be the case because there's not a whole editor running at the same time. So we're just gonna say that it's probably okay. All right. So I think we're done. I think that is, we've gone from this horribly layered Photoshop file that I made 30 minutes for 30 minutes and turned it into a nice, efficient opening screen for the game with animation. If you can ignore that display one no camera rendering, at least we could say it's nice. That won't be there on mobile, it's just an editor thing. Just need some audio and that could be pretty good. I don't have any audio right now and I have no intentions of doing audio just yet. It's not my greatest talent, but eventually we'll get around to that. And I think I'm going to call that here. I think we've done something quite good today. Looks like my camera at some point is moving off to the side. Can't wait to get an actual camera stand for that. But we're gonna bring this to an end, and thank you so much for watching. This one's been a really fun one. And it's been getting my creative juices flowing, so thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.